Now here go another sad, sad, weird story. So y'all remember Melissa Gilbert, right? Y'all know Melissa Gilbert from what she played in? She was on like Little House on the Prairie. I don't know what else she was in, but anyway. So Melissa Gilbert brought Christmas gifts for the child actors who were allegedly or who alleged to have been the subject of sex crimes by her husband, Tim. According to the arrest warrant. Now the Albuquerque Police Department is Albuquerque. Now, is that where what's that actor who got found with his wife? You know, the guy who got found with his wife? And it was like they were saying that it might have been like some mice had like some type of disease or something, and it might have caused that. Dang, I can't remember who that was. But let me go ahead on and read this story real quick, and then I'm gonna get to that because this sounds something like I seen on Slum Bella. So anyway, so the Albuquerque Police Department issued the arrest warrant on Friday, January the 9th, alleging that um Busfield, which is Melissa, there you go, right here. Look at your screen, look at your screen, look at your screen. Melissa Gilbert's husband. Okay. So they saying that Busfield, 68, engaged in unlawful sexual conduct with two boys, 11-year-old twins whose identities are being withheld because they're minors. Okay. But one of the minors alleged that the incident began when he was 7 years old. 7. And y'all just keep, not y'all, but y'all just keep leaving y'all kids around anybody. You know, sick people get in these positions, teachers, coaches, to gain access to your kid because if some weirdo come up to you that's I don't know, a gardener, you can be like, "Oh no." But just because they got a coaching hat on, you willing to just throw your churn at them and say, "All right, bring them back to me next week." Weird. I just don't get it. Now I understand why my mom was very like, "Nah, you ain't staying by nobody house." Even though she should have knew I would say something, but it's just the whole idea of don't even put your child in that situation, right? Right. Right. Okay. Now, in the warrant obtained by People, the Officer Brown stated that he determined that Busfield and Gilbert, 61, did have a relationship with the two victims identified in the document as SL and VL and their family outside of work. They advertised that they did buy the two boys Christmas gifts and were together at, several social functions. Brown wrote in the arrest warrant referring to the statements Busfield and Gilbert made during an interview held aimed in investigation. In conclusion of his findings, Brown mentioned the Christmas gift, the Christmas gift gave, gift giving again, writing that Busfield would invite the family to offset gatherings with his wife buying Christmas gifts to foster closeness. You see, you see. Now the representatives for the Gilbert and Busfield they haven't responded. So okay. Now, an investigation into Busfield, who is known for his role as Danny Conkerman on The West Wing, began in November 2024 after a doctor at the University of New Mexico hospital alerted police about alleged sexual abuse. The victim's parents told Brown that the minors were child actors who met Busfield on the set of the Fox series The Cleaning Lady, where he served as a director. The television program ran from January 22 to June 2025. The parents were advised by an attorney to take the children to the university where they said a professional suggested the boys were groomed. It was later determined, however, that the case did not meet authorities' acceptance criteria at the time. How did it not accept? You know what? Maybe they have a standard. I don't know. It just sounds weird. Child saying it being touched on. I don't think you should have no 2 3 point part. You got to get 3 out of the 5 for us to take it seriously. What the hell? Because what happened to me was just one thing. I just seen it and I got the hooping and hollering. So you get what I'm saying? So you mean tell me y'all wouldn't even took my case because they're like, oh well, nothing happened, so she's fine. No, I am mentally scarred because I am 6 or 7 and I am seeing something I shouldn't be seeing. Somebody asking me to touch something I know I shouldn't be touching. Oh, and no, I did not. I'm telling y'all, I screamed like the Dickens and ran out of there. Okay, straight to my great grandma. Straight over there. Now, the parents were advised by the attorney, like I said, to take the child over there. Now, later in October 2025, the victim's mother filed a police report and told CPS, that's the Child Protective Service, that her children both disclosed that there was sexual abuse by Timothy from around November 2022 to spring of 2024. However, according to the warrant, she was told that because physical abuse had not occurred, nothing could be done. I would sue the department. Now, during an investigation, Busfield allegedly told police that the parents were upset their sons had been replaced with a younger actor who auditioned according to the warrant. Shortly after, the actor got a call from Warner Brothers informing him they were investigating a complaint. In a statement to People, a Warner Brothers television representative said, "The health and safety of our cast and crew is always our top priority, especially the safety of minors on our production. We take all allegations of misconduct very seriously and have systems in place to promptly and thoroughly investigate and, when needed, take appropriate action. We have been and will continue to cooperate with law enforcement." That's what the spokesman said. Before the recent arrest warrant, Busfield faced prior sexual assault allegations dating back to 1994, according to the warrant. Those did not result in any charges, but you know what they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. Now, Gilbert and Busfield, how many of y'all think that she knew? Hmm. Gilbert and Busfield married in 2013, a year after reconnecting at a bar. At the time, Gilbert was newly single after splitting from her ex-husband, Bruce Boxingling, whom she was married to from 1995 to 2011. Prior to that, she was married to Bo Brickman from 1988 to 1994. Oh, this lady ain't never had a single day. Last April, Gilbert celebrated her 12th wedding anniversary, marking the occasion with a tribute to Busfield on her Instagram page. Mm, mm, mm. Now, weeks before her husband's arrest warrant was issued, Gilbert spoke out about child sex abuse in a social media post. In November, Gilbert shared a throwback photo of herself and reflected on her Little House on the Prairie experience when she filmed with an older love interest, though she did not allege any appropriate behavior by the actor. Gilbert shared the reflective past after Megyn Kelly made comments about, you know, convicted child sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Here's my thing: where there's smoke, there's fire. And I just don't know. Some people are saying that the whole thing is bogus, that he didn't, molest anyone. It's very obvious that the people are pissed because their sons were replaced. That's Hollywood or Holly weird, and they were counting on their children's income to support them. A pretty good evidence trail, if you will. They seem to follow the quote: if at first you don't succeed, try and try again. Some folks say, some people just feel like it's just kind of fishy. I tend to side on the kids. I tend to side with the children. I do. Call me what you want. Call me cynical, but as someone who has escaped that whole thing, I'm siding with the children on this until something else comes out or they drop it or whatever. Hey man, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just really, really weird. And then you guys were hanging with these people and all that. Like, why were you trying to get all friendly bobbing with them? You know what I'm saying? Like, they just actors. Send them a gift and go on about your business. But you're doing too much friendly bopping. Too much friendly bopping makes me think something else is going on. But I digress. Listen, if you still here, thank you so much. Oh my God. It's been a long, long live. But I really do appreciate you guys being here. And if you still here, please hit the follow button. Dang, it ain't gonna hurt you. Just click the button. It's right there. Just say click. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys for tuning in and stay and listen to my pitch. Before we close, shout out to my followers who hear this every time because you never know who's listening. I'm building a self-parting hair tool so you can part hair clean, straight, and perfectly with no extra hands needed, not even a mirror. Still in patent. I am meeting with manufacturers to scout out, those types of things, but it's real and it's coming. So when it drops, you heard it here first because I'm going to display it here first. So I want to thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you wander with me, always remember consistency is key, and I'll be back with more. So until then, be easy.